Screening for colorectal cancer starts at age 45 for African Americans, 50 for everyone else, and almost every insurance plan would cover that screening for those patients. So at least the cost of what is a relatively expensive procedure is covered by your insurance. There are some exceptions. So there are patients who are younger than that age group who have, say, a family history, and they've been told to be screened earlier. And so we do get in fights with insurance companies to say this is appropriate and make sure that they get covered for that. So don't let the barrier of insurance be the reason you're not getting the test. If you're of the proper age, it almost certainly is covered. Your team will check that before you have the procedure. If you're under the age and you're getting it for a good medical reason, almost always we can get that cleared.
One of the obstacles to undergoing colonoscopy is the feeling that a person just can't take a day off from work. Someone told me about this just this morning, and his concern was that he would miss too much time. And when that occurs, we acknowledge that that's an issue for some people, and we try to schedule this as on a Friday or a Monday so that they can perhaps do some of their preparation on the Sunday before the exam and not miss as much work time. You do need to take the rest of the day off after the examination because of the sedation, but the early detection of a colon cancer, the prevention of the surgery for it, or even the dreaded complication of spread of the tumor is so worth what essentially turns out to be one day of your life that we strongly recommend patients do it. And when someone comes to work with an excuse note that said, I had to have a colonoscopy, everyone believes that. No one makes that up. So that's something that we do all the time for folks who give them a work excuse.
When patients say they don't have time for a colonoscopy, I always say one day of a colonoscopy will actually save you so much time in the future. Patients will need a ride home after the colonoscopy because of the sedation. Oftentimes, patients are concerned about being able to get a ride home. I do recommend that they have a friend or a co-worker or a family member, somebody that can drop them off and then provide a phone number so we can contact them once the procedure is done so they don't have to wait here in the office the whole time.
Another concern that patients may have is that they can't get a ride home after the procedure. It is very important that the person have someone to take them home after the exam because although they're quite awake after the sedation has worn off, they're not able to drive home. This is an obstacle because some patients don't want to ask a family member or friend. We understand that, but if it's completely impossible to have someone take them home, medical taxi services are available, and the hospital or ambulatory surgery center where you're going to have your exam may partner with one of those groups to allow you to have a ride to take you home.